just get that set up in the tree, maybe that'll help. There we go. Huh. Happy days. Everybody, it's Joe here. Out on a night hike up in the Dublin Mountains. It's about 12:30, and I had a lot of requests after my last nighttime hike video to run the scenario of my kit and what I would do in that situation, and I thought it was a good question, and I'd like to do those type of things, and maybe we can talk and rap and learn a bit more. Unfortunately, filming in the dark, as you can see, is not one of the best things for me to do, but we can work with it. So in the last video I talked about when you're not walking at night until you feel brave enough to head off into the woods, because you can see it's still pretty dark in there behind me, is to stay on clearly marked trails. So running the scenario of hurting myself or getting lost and getting thrown around, you can see, hold on a sec, I'll get my torch on. Oh, the red light. Forgive me. There you go. So you can see this really wide, well marked trail with horses and everything coming down it. And the reason why I don't steer off it is because there's bad boys like this next to it. So if I was walking along the trail and fell and hurt my ankle or got disorientated and got lost, it's now, like I said, 12:30, probably coming up on 1 AM. I only really have to make it through the next 5 hours. So I'm going to get my shelter set up, film as best as I can in the dark, but we'll get to it. Bear with me. So you can see, it's windy out, so I'm going to try and stay in out of the wind. The trail is still only there, so I'm only maybe a metre off the trail, but I got a nice tree here, a nice hollow. Like I've talked about in other videos, like bushcraft is kind of what happens later, and survival is what needs to happen now. I could waste some calories and stuff like that trying to get a bed together, but I've got good layers on. I have some stuff that I always carry in my bag that kind of help prevent that. I only need to make it till sun up, and then at least I can crawl my way out of here. So the first thing I'm going to do is take out my tarp, which is the grabber. I do have the DD in there, but I'm setting this up for heat retention, and because it's a reflective panel, it'll be very easy to be found in the morning. DDs ain't the best. Some tent stakes, and as always, my quick deploy ridgeline. What I'm going to do is take my Prusik loops off this really quick and use them for the eyelets on that. So I'm going to set this up in a plough point, a really low plough point off this tree, and I'll be back. So there we have it. Let's see if I can get some light on this bad boy. There we go. The shelter setup. You can see it there. That's why I use this over the DD, because it's got the reflective mylar on the inside. I'm 6 deuce, so it's enough to get me away. Pick the tree, you can hear the wind, you can see the tarp kind of moving around the place there. Dropped it at a steep angle on that side to keep the wind off me, have it a little up there so I can sleep. But no one's going to miss that on the trail in the morning, that's for sure. Right, let's get inside. So there we have it. In, on and under, out of the weather. These foil blankets are a gift. Some of them are kind of a single use item only, and I tend to, whenever I have to set them up in extreme conditions like this, well, extreme, but in conditions like this, I usually lose an eyelet here or there. But hopefully you can see I got my body heat reflecting off this. I could lower it down if I want. I got a good 3 feet over the top of my head. I got a good another, you can see down there, maybe not, I'll zoom it in, another maybe 2 feet that I could scooch down in if it started to rain, or if push comes to shove. I could quite easily stake in 3 corners of this and get under it like a blanket, or just wrap myself in it like a tackle, which I have done on occasions. So there's something to sleep in, on and under. Also, going to sound like a broken record, but it is coming to winter time. Layers. Your clothing is your first line of defense, and as you can see in a situation like this, your last line of defense. So buffalo base layers I've talked about extensively in other videos. Today I'm wearing my Helicon trousers because there was supposed to be a bit of rain, so I got some fast dry pants on there. I've also told several people where I'm going to be. This is a very well marked trail, and some of my friends and me have hiked this before. Told them that if I wasn't going to be home by 2 AM, it is now coming up on 1 AM. So possibly I could only be out here for another 2 hours. Maybe somebody will come looking for me or send help when they don't see that I'm home by the set time I'm going to be home at. So I'm sitting quite comfortably now. So I'll dive into the bag. Actually, I'll go through my pockets first. As always, compass. Never leave home without it. Belt knife is the Garberg on the hip. That's about all I have in my pockets. I've a spare battery charger. This is I always bring out at night with me for my phone, which is in here. Bear with me guys, we're doing it live. So there you go. It's the Anker 5200 milliamp, nice and small, compact, fits in the multi-tool pocket of most trousers, and I keep this on my body with the lead in my kangaroo pocket. The reason why I keep it on my body is because the cold out here, it's about 6 degrees, probably a little colder with the wind chill, sucks the life out of them. But your phone is always going to be a great rescue remedy for maps, torches, whatever, or recording videos like this. So I always keep that, and I keep it in my pocket and close to my body, or you can buy special little socks for them. A lighter, and then in this pocket over here, on a quick deploy lanyard, I have my pocket knife and a spare lighter, and of course my wallet. So look into my bag just really quickly, because I carry some different things with me hiking at night, and not just hiking at night but in the winter. In the front pocket of my Skoda, things have stayed the same. It's my quick deploy ridgeline, my first aid kit, stuff that I need to get to really quickly, some spare cordage. Up in the top pocket I have the 1 litre add-on, the 1 litre molly. So I can get this guy up here. Ooh. I got the 1 litre molly, I got spare batteries. This is also where I keep my compass, and I keep my spare head torch. I always carry 2 head torches when I'm out with me, one to use just for walking, one as a backup, and then I always run them in low mode until I have to. Most torches, when you run them in the high lumens, are only really good for about an hour or so, but I always carry 2. And it's a nice morale booster as well. The last thing you want to have happen in an environment like this is this. It's not a fun way to go looking about the place. So I like to carry 2. Then inside the bag is the usual accoutrement, but again, hiking at night in winter, sorry I'm doing all this underneath, I carry an extra base layer. Again, it's nice to get, if you have to sleep out, sleep dry. Your base layers and all that, they're meant to wick, so they're going to retain moisture, because they're going to wick it away from your body, but they're going to wick it into the next level of clothes. And one of the best things you can do to help yourself stay warm at night is to change into something dry. Or like that, if it's just getting a bit colder, I can throw this on and add an extra layer. Again, I clean it. Or as a pillow or anything else. You see, hiking is a bit like strip poker. It's a bit like strip poker. At the end of it, everybody ends up hot and naked, and the one that wins is the one that has the most layers. And then what I tend to carry is this, the overlooked thermos flask. It's like that now. I'm after slowing down, I'm lying down, my core is going to start losing heat. So in my thermos flask I got a nice hot cup of coffee. So I can throw this into me to help regulate my core body temperature, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. No matter what you're doing outside, everything here from my tarp to my layers to my thermos flask is all about regulating your core temperature, heating you up or cooling you down. So in the winter time, I like to carry the thermos flask. Everything else in my bag is exactly as has always been. It doesn't really change. And again, sorry about the lighting. I'm working with a bit of a flappy tarp. So I'm going to stay out here for probably another hour, chill out, relax. Then I gotta be getting home. I'm gonna have myself a cup of coffee and edit this video. So hopefully you can see how just some very minimal kit can really get you out of a bad situation, and a bit of pre-planning. Again, telling someone where you're going, staying on a waymarked trail, so that if I did bust my ankle up, I'd be able to move just slightly off trail, set up my emergency shelter, and with my layers in my emergency shelter and some core regulation, hopefully I won't have to be out here for too long, that I can just sit here pretty. Also, doing stuff like this, again, in a nice, safe, controlled environment is a really great way to stress test what you're doing. Hiking trails in the dark is completely different to hiking trails in the day, and putting up your kit at night is completely different to putting it up in the day. It's where you really learn the importance of having stuff compartmentalized in your bag, a routine. So it's nice to have this bit of practice, so maybe that should the worst case scenario happen, that you kind of got it down pat. The less you got to think about, the less you got to do. But that's why it might seem a bit foolish. I know some people may laugh at carrying this stuff out of your house, but it's why I do, because I tend to head a bit off. So here we go. I'm going to have my coffee, and I'll talk to you if I make it back to the car alive. Peace. There we go. An hour and a half later, and back in the car. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my camera and these kind of lens flares. My front facing camera is just gone and given up, like. But I'm back. See the lights of Dublin City there. Got my Savoda. Oh, and a hitchhiker. Oh, you live there now, so I get to bring a companion home with me. But it just started raining there, which was glad to make it back. Not that I would have had a problem in the shelter, but I just didn't fancy walking back in the rain. But this is where you want to be, you know, at the end of everything. That's why you practice your skills, to be able to head off into the darkness and be comfortable, and then make it back to here, your car, and home to what you want to do best. But it's probably going to be the end of my nighttime videos for the next while. I won't be giving up nighttime hiking. It's one of my favorite things to do, and hopefully these bunch of videos have kind of shown you that you can do it safely. You don't need much kit per se, but hopefully it'll show why me and Porrig and an awful lot of the guys put an emphasis on layering and knowing what to layer, and spending good money on good clothes to be outside, because it does make a big difference. No one really ever seems to think about that type of scenario. It's okay during the day when temperatures are good and winds are low and it's nice and dry, but the part that is always going to get hard, especially at altitude, is nighttime, around this time when all that kind of cold and the frost and the mist and all starts coming in. It's really where you're thankful for carrying those extra few layers, like you see what I did there. Like if I was out on a day hike, I'd still wear this exact system, for want of a better word. I'd just take it off and I'd pack it in my backpack. You may or may not use it, but it's nice to know it's there just in case. So there you go. Thanks for joining me on these again. They're some of my most favourite videos to make, and if you'd like to see me do any more stuff or put myself into any more scenarios, kind of let me know. They're really fun. They're really fun. As always, be safe out there, and I hope you can take something away from this video that'll help you be safe and to help you push yourself a little further into the woods. As always, Joe. Peace.